All right. Good evening, everybody. I'd like to ask everybody to go ahead and take their seats, please. Tonight, we are honored to have the American Heritage Girls with Troop ID 0117 with us. They're going to present the colors. After that, Commander Fred is going to give us a treat and sing the national anthem for us. After that, if you guys haven't had the opportunity to hear that, you're in for something special tonight. Afterwards, Commander Fred will also offer us the invocation. So we'll go to that point in the program.
Thank you. Color guard attention, troop attention. Troop salute. Audience, please rise. Those not in uniform, please place your right hand over your heart. Please remove your hats. Color guard, forward march. Color guard, halt. Color guard, advance the colors. Flags, please cross. Color guard, prepare to post the colors. Flag bearers, post the colors. Color guard, salute. Please join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now for the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Father in heaven, we come before you, and we thank you for this night, this life that you've given us, the Spirit of Christ which is in us. Lord, I ask you now to bless the mayor as he comes to speak tonight. I ask all ears to be open to what he has to say. Let our hearts be tendered toward you as well, Lord. I thank you, God, that you've given us another day just to be in your presence. We thank you for that now in the name of Jesus. And all God's children said,
Amen.
Amen.
Color guard, reform. Color guard, forward march. Color guard, halt. Color guard dismissed. Troop eddies. Audience, please be seated.
Awesome. Thank you so much to the American Heritage Girls and to Commander Fred. I needed to hear that tonight. I get chills every time that I hear him sing. So what a great opportunity we have tonight to come to the mayor's state of the city. If this is your first time, if you're coming to the state of the city, raise your hand. Oh, all right. Great. How many of you been to 2 or more? All right. Fantastic. 3? I know mayor's wife's like, how many have we had? Raise my hand. So, no, we appreciate you coming tonight. It's always a treat. It's an opportunity to review what has happened over the course of the past year, what some of the goals are as we move forward, to listen to your input, and to really talk about what a cool community we live in and that we work in. You have on your chairs and at the tables as you walk in, note cards. Please write down your questions that you have as you go throughout tonight's presentation. At the end, we have a Q&A session. When you have a question written on the card, just go ahead and raise it. These fine young men and women back here dressed in their their blue and white polos are members of the Mayor's Youth Council. They will swing by and collect them from you, and then we will ask them at the end of tonight's presentation. I think that is just about all of the housekeeping. So without any further ado, we'll turn things over to the Honorable Mayor Trevor Andrew Chadwick, the City of Star.
Thank you. Yeah, just right here in the center is fine. I was going to help you, but no, we're good. All right. Hey, thank you everybody for coming out here tonight on this Tuesday night in October. If this is your first time with coming to my State of the City, I try to provide as much information as I can on what's going on. It's a little bit different than what other communities do. But first of all, I just want to thank a few people here that have come tonight and are part of this. But first, I want to thank the LifeSpring Church for allowing us to have this event here. And it's always a challenge when you have construction going on and trying to fit everything in, so we truly appreciate that. But I got to thank my wife. I think she's out here. I saw her come in here somewhere. Oh, there she is over there in the back. Why are you sitting in the back? You tired of me? Okay. She's sitting in the back, Amber. She deals with everything that we deal with on a daily basis here in the community. Sometimes it gets ugly, and she has to endure some of the pain of that too. So I'd just like to thank her for that. Our city council members, we have several of them here tonight, I believe. I think Councilman Hershey, Councilman Wheelock, I think he might still be on the bus trying to get people here, I don't know. And Councilman Nielsen, I think he's back here somewhere as well. And their spouses deal with the same thing. Sometimes decisions aren't popular, but they're the thing that we have to do, and they hear the brunt of that as well. So thank all those guys right now for me if you can. We also have some elected officials here tonight. Ada County Commissioner Rod Beck, where are you at, sir? Oh, there he is back here. He's a great commissioner for Ada County. Our Highway District 4 Commissioner Justin Bollinger is right here. He's our commissioner on the Canyon County side, so thank you for coming. I don't think, is Sheriff Clifford back there? I don't think I see him back there, right? Not yet? Okay. We also have our fire chief here and our police chief and several of our police officers out here. So thank you there for showing up. And I also want to thank the candidates that are running for office that are here. Stand up. Those of you that are running, stand up. It takes a lot of courage to run for office, guys, especially in a time like this. So thank you for running. It's always nice. We have 6 people running for 1 seat, and that Councilman Hershey, he spent, I don't know how many years, 12 years, David? I think somewhere like that, 12 and a half years here on the city council. And these 3 right here are running for that seat, as well as 3 others. So that's awesome. It's awesome to have community involvement. And then Councilman Wheelock's up for election, and he has one opponent as well this year. So thank you. Appreciate you. All right. So we are going to, let me see if I got to remember, I got to click on this thing here to get it moving forward so everybody doesn't. And let's thank the American Heritage Girls again. I know they just left, but those ladies, guys, are our future leaders of our community, and have them do this is great. And I will tell you, Miss Sabala, the one that was reading everything up here, she is doing a great project down at the River House called Letters to God, where there's some benches there with a mailbox that you can write letters to God if you want to do that, if you have something going on. And I think it's a great program that she's doing, so it's cool to see kids do that. And then my Mayor's Youth Council is just getting bigger and bigger all the time. And why are you sitting girls and guys? What is up with that? Oh, you were told to do that? Okay. No, okay, gotcha. But we have a great Mayor's Youth Council that learns a lot, that's learning about different parts of government, does a lot of volunteer work, things like that, and it's fantastic that we have that. All right, so let's move on to, I just gotta be patient here with this. We'll just get some initial stuff going right now. Our city clerk and city treasurer's office, I'm just gonna have all the city staff that's here stand up for me if you can. These are folks, ladies, men, and women that make our city run. There's a few of you here. This Shelly Tilton's our city clerk. Michelle Meyer back here is our city treasurer. Lonnie, he does a lot of our parks and rec stuff. I think Ryan Morgan's back there. Ryan Field, you heard him up here. Ryan Morgan's our city engineer. Sean Nickel is our city planner. Who else? Do we have anybody else here? It's hard to see from up here. So we have a very lean staff, and we do a lot with our lean staff compared to other cities. I just let you guys know that. Just give you an idea, for instance, we are a very popular city. People want to be part of this community. And we process about 1,000 permits with 8 staff members. You get to the city of Eagle, they have double, almost triple that number of staff members for a lot fewer, right? And so these guys do a great job in our city. All right, and then guys, I just say an extra prayer for Miss Dana when you get a chance. Poor Dana, working on the Veterans Garden out there that we're doing, and she fell on her tailbone and fractured some of her back. And so she's scrambling in between the Norco and stuff, she does all my, reviewing all my stuff and trying to get this all done at home when that just happened less than a week ago. So say an extra prayer for Miss Dana when you can. So she's not here right now. So, okay, Star through the years. Like I said, Star is a very popular location. So is Ada County and Canyon County. And these are some statistics up here on the screen that show you where we're at. Right now, we're about 22,370 people in 2025. We are at 11,117 people in 2020. That shows the extreme growth that we've experienced in our community during that time frame. And what happened in 2020? We had a worldwide event that created a mass migration of people to places that are more like them. And that's why people want to come to Star, because they want to be more like us. But if you look at Ada County and Canyon County, you see how they have grown as well on that. And these numbers come from Compass every year, which is our metropolitan planning organization. It's an organization we're required to have to get federal transportation funding here in our valley, okay? Our city finances, we are very fiscally conservative. Your city council does a great job with this. Your clerk and your treasurer here are very on top of our finances. We have zero debt. We don't have any bonds or any of that kind of stuff. And we have about almost $17 million in our bank accounts, savings and stuff like that, to get us through some of the tough times that are going to come at some point here, right? I mean, we've been very lucky. We've kind of weathered the storm, it seems like, on a lot of this because of the people moving in. But there will be a time when it's going to slow down and we're going to have to make some adjustments with that. Our City of Star Police. Chief, will you come up here, Chief Tim Haynes? I'm going to introduce you guys to our new police chief. Chief Hessing got promoted at the Ada County Sheriff's Office. He's called a chief deputy now, or deputy chief? Chief deputy. He's second in command underneath Sheriff Clifford. That's a great deal for the City of Star to see our chief get promoted. But we got another chief who's just as good right here, Chief Tim Haynes. I want you to see who he is. He just started, a couple weeks ago?
2 weeks.
2 weeks ago, he started with us when Zach went off to the Ada County world. And now, because he's in that Ada County world, he's at some FBI training now too, so he couldn't be here tonight either. So welcome Chief Haynes right here. He's gonna do all sorts of great stuff for our community. Our team of officers loves him, and that's even better, right? So when they love their chief, things get done the right way.
Yes, see.
We'll see. We'll see. All right. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. So after this fiscal year, our fiscal years start on October 1st every year and end on September 30th. So we budgeted for 2 additional police officers this year and a resource officer. So our team's going to be this year, we have 1 admin sergeant, 2 patrol sergeants, 3 detectives, 2 POP team deputies, which is a problem-oriented policing. We're very proactive on our policing, and we'll talk about that here shortly. We're going to have 12 patrol deputies now. We have a K9 and a deputy. Well, we like the K9 more than the deputy, I think, because everybody loves to see the dog. But Goldstein and Luna are an awesome team. We've added a school resource officer to our elementary school. We think that's very important to have a police officer within that school, and we're very proactive with that. When we talk about some future schools coming online here in the city of Star, we're also going to probably staff those schools with officers as well, just to make certain that our littlest ones are protected here in our community. You never know what's going to happen. Bad things happen everywhere in good places, and you have to be prepared for that, unfortunately. We also have 1 code enforcement officer and 1 administrative assistant in our police force here. How do we pay for our police? 100% of your property taxes that you pay go to our police, but we have a deficit on that because of the cost of police and how much we collect. We're very fiscally responsible with our property taxes. We're going to talk about that a little bit too. But we put mitigation fees in place. We're the only community in this state that does this, that requires new development to pay an extra portion to pay for our police. It's a short-term funding solution. It's not permanent, but it's an option for us to make sure that our policing stays up in our community. At some point, that's going to dry up, and we're hoping to find some solutions here with this state. So I just said in 2025, we added 2 patrol deputies and an SRO. So our deputies handle a lot of calls every year. And you can see those calls are coming up. The reason our calls are going up, though, is because of our proactive policing, meaning they're making traffic stops, they're stopping at businesses, they're stopping at schools, they're doing all these different things to make contact to try to stop crime before it comes into our community. So far in 2025, we're anticipating to have 33,070 calls amongst our deputies, which is about 2,700 calls per deputy per year. That's a lot of calls for our community, right? But it's working. We have one of the lowest crime rates in the valley in Star, which is great. Our officers, that didn't click, did it? No. There we go. We try to hit 1 officer. We have several goals that we have put in place in our comprehensive plan. 1 officer to 1,000 residents, which in the city of Star, for every 370 houses that's built, that's 1,000 residents based on the statistics. There's about 2.9 something residents per house. Some are lower, some are higher, but that's about the average that comes out with the MPOs. So we've done a very good job of maintaining that. We're about 1.04. I've given you some data here that shows you what some other cities around the valley are at for officers per 1,000 for the last 3 years. And, we've held out 1.02 and 1.04, so we're staying at that level of 1 officer to 1,000. That's been pretty effective for us here in the community of Star. The other goals that we have is a 4-minute or less response time on code 3 calls. That's when we have lights and sirens. That's very important, obviously, when you have that call and you have that immediate need that we could get officers there in time. We're running right around, probably, I think it's 3 minutes, 30 seconds, somewhere in there right now, which is very good, considering all the construction that's going on, that they're still able to handle getting to those calls on time. And then we also ask for 18 crimes or less per 1,000, and we're sitting right around 14. So that's really good statistics for us with our police. And so thank our police officers. They're out there every day making sure our communities are safe. But the greatest thing in the world is when I hear new citizens come in here, I said, that can't believe they can let their kids ride their bikes down the streets or go to the parks and stuff like that without having the concerns from where they came from. So that means we're doing something right. And it goes to these guys and ladies with our police department that make that right for us. So thank you so much to our police. So let's talk about proactive policing. Proactive policing is very important because we want to prevent crimes before they happen. We want to stop the drug trade, the human trafficking trade, all that stuff. on the highways before they can enter our neighborhoods, right? You can't stop it all, but we can stop a mass majority of that. Chief Haynes brought up an idea with me earlier today, which I thought was a pretty good idea, by having our deputies, since some of the drugs are not coming back through us, they're kind of trying to skirt us a little bit. We might extend their little bit areas of operations to try to hit some of this stuff, right? We want to get them out of here. We want the drugs gone, because that's the biggest downfall to our society, is this drug crimes and stuff that happen that cause people to get crazy and stupid out there. We also want to stop gangs. I tell you, our police are very good. If they notice a gang member, they're going to put pressure on them until they're gone, until they're out of here, right? And so thank you very much for that, because that's not a good thing to have as well. So we greatly improves the overall safety and value in the city of Star. So our police are doing a great job. Out here in Star, we're a unique city. Actually, Eagle's now a very unique city, but we are a dual county city. We have city limits that are in Ada County and Canyon County, about the same on both sides. And so our police have to deal with two different jurisdictions when they make arrests. If they make an arrest on the Canyon County side, they go to the Caldwell, to the Canyon County jail, and it goes through all the prosecutors on the Canyon County side. If they make it on the Ada County side, it goes to the jail in Boise up there on Barrister, and then we deal with the Ada County prosecutors. So we have agreements in place with all these different entities so our police can do their job effectively. Well, I say Eagle's unique because Eagle's recent annexations of Avamore out there make them a 3-county city with Jim County, Boise County, and Ada County. So they're going to have to figure out how to deal with all that stuff here in the near future as the housing grows up there for them. Okay? Our Star Fire District. Star Fire District, it's a big district. It covers 55 square miles. People need to understand that this district is not just Star. And that's the biggest misconception that's out there right now, is that fire district is just Star. There's 3 cities that are included in that district and 2 counties. The city of Eagle has a big portion of their Valnova project that's in there. The city of Middleton has a section of their city in the Star Fire District. Star is in the fire district, and then Ada and Canyon County developments are in the fire district. So that's 55 square miles. It is handled currently, technically, by 2 stations, Station 51 and I think 53? 2, that's on Kingsbury. That they man with, we have 2 battalion chiefs, 6 captains, 6 engineers, 9 firefighters, and 2 emergency technicians. Yes, a lot of controversy is out there, unfortunately, about the station that's built on Floating Feather. That's Station 55. It will remain unmanned until we can find a permanent funding solution to man that, right? So a lot of people have a misunderstanding on how taxes are done here compared to where they came from. The only taxing authority, or the only income authority that fire district has is through property taxes. And that's why you see these come up every single election. That's their job, their responsibility to try to get that to pass so we could get that station staffed. But what are we doing to try to combat some of that? Chief Tominski and myself have been working very hard to try to find alternate ways that are permanent solutions as well to fund the fire districts. And not just fire districts, but fire, police, and EMS in the state of Idaho through a public safety improvement district. We're working with the state legislature to see if we can get some of that passed to where the new housing pays for that additional personnel. In Idaho, impact fees can only be utilized for capital improvements, which built that fire station. You hear people that say, hey, well, why'd you build a fire station if you can't staff it? Well, because state statute says on an impact fee, you have to spend that money within 8 years or you give it back to the developer. Well, we're right at the 8-year threshold of that, and it's time to build that station. It's not going to get any cheaper to build. And so they were fiscally responsible with that, got a station built for $4 million or less over here, whereas the city of Boise is building stations for almost $16 million. Think about that just for a minute. Think of how fiscally responsible our staff, our chief and them are here by getting a station built that's going to be effective in the long term for good money. And we didn't have to give the money back to the development community, right? That's the key right there. This next slide shows you, and these slides will be posted on the website so you can go see, but this will gives you the example of where that fire district is, at 55 square miles, and how these cities all fall within that and the counties, okay? So any development, I hear from folks, well, you just need to stop development if you can't staff that station. Well, that's not true. Because no matter what we do here, doesn't mean Eagle's gonna stop, Middleton's gonna stop, Ada County's gonna stop, Kennedy County's gonna stop. In fact, those folks will just come right onto our borders and encircle us and create an enclave for the city of Star, where all these people would be utilizing the different parks and services in the city of Star without paying any taxes towards that, right? Plus, we have service with the fire district, it's just later. It takes longer to get to the calls, and we're accepting the fact that it's 8 to 10 minutes to get to calls on some occasions on there. That Star Fire District serves nearly 28,500 citizens currently, and that's going to grow a lot. That Valnova project, I think it's like 2,000 homes that's in the fire district that's planned over there in the Valnova project in Eagle. So if you think about that, that's another 5,000 people probably easily that's going to be in the city of, or not city, but in the Star Fire District from Eagle, just from that one development up there that none of us have a say in here in Star. We also charge here, come on now, an impact fee. An impact fee of $2,100 for every new home gets charged for building these fire stations and the initial equipment for it. Commercial buildings pay up to $839 per 1,000 square feet for the impact fee. And all that money goes, any impact fees you ever hear that we do, because we're going to talk about some that we're doing here in the city of Star here shortly, goes to capital improvements only. Can never be used for personnel. I can't emphasize that enough. Okay, that's just the way Idaho State statute is written on that. There's 3 fire commissioners here in Star. Currently, it's Jared Moyle, Tim Murray, and Steve Martin. I think Mary's here, right? She's running for one of them. So Mary back here is running for, did you stand up the last time? I forgot to ask you to stand up on that, but she's running for one of the fire commissioner spots here in the city of Star, or in the Star Fire District as well, because Mr. Steve Martin's retiring after this year, right? So, with the joint powers agreement with the Middleton Fire District, the Star Fire District saves roughly $400,000 per year on its operations budget by sharing administrative staff. Again, they're very fiscally responsible by sharing the administration side, so you're not fat on both ends to save the taxpayers' money, right? So they're doing everything they can to provide the services here in our community. Here is some information on the Star Fire District's calls for service. It is projected for this fiscal year, let's see here, that we're going to have 1,879 calls. Currently, as of October 1, they had 1,401. So if you look at all that, the total calls, they anticipate those calls to go up 14% overall for this fiscal year, okay? That does not include any of their, what do they call that? They call that the mutual aid calls when they go outside of the area to cover for somebody in maybe Meridian or Eagle or somewhere like that where they have to help them because they're on other calls. Total between the Middleton Fire District and the Star Fire District, they're projected to hit 3,859 total calls. That's a lot of calls, right? Handled by 3 fire stations currently and all those firemen and firewomen in those stations. So there is a big need here to make certain that we staff fire stations here in the future so we can handle that. And we talked about so we have mitigation fees. We talked about that already, so I'm going to jump over that and go to our Star Sewer and Water. Star Sewer and Water is another district. See, I'll just tell you that we have 197 cities in the state of Idaho, if you're not aware. Every city is unique on how it's operated. The city of Star does not have a sewer and water because it's a district, doesn't have a fire because it's a district. We don't have roads because the Ada County Highway District handles our roads on Ada County and Highway District 4 handles them on Canyon County. You go down the street in Middleton, they have their own sewer and water district. They have their own police department. They have their own roads department because they're in Canyon County. It's just the way things were established years ago. And some cities have airports, some have resort stuff going on. I mean, there's all sorts of different things that happen in all these different cities in Idaho. The Star Sewer and Water District is a very high-tech and efficient water and sewer system that's had 0 violations for a number of years. They do a great job managing our sewer and water in our community, which is fantastic. And they always are planning for growth. They're required to have a growth plan as well. Recently, you guys, I've seen a lot of comments about the tank that's up here off of Star Road. That's a 750,000 gallon water tank that's being built up there to help supplement water needs up there in case of fire flows and things like that that need to happen, right? They're drilling a well over on Canada Road and working on that to bring more water into the system. They have another well on Kingsbury. I don't know if it's operational yet, but it's getting, you're building it, right? On Kingsbury, Ryan? Oh, it's operational. So it's operational. It's just not connected to anything yet. So we have an abundance of water in our community, and we have a great sewer and water treatment plant. If you ever want to take a tour of this plant, they're more than welcome to take you on that tour. I know my Mayor's Youth Council went on that, and it was a welcoming experience for them on some of that. And it's a lagoonless, it's supposed to be a lagoonless system, right? It's all internal. They use lagoons for overflow in case we have higher flows than what's supposed to happen with stormwater and stuff like that. But it's a very good and efficient system. We also have in the foothills a 1.25 million gallon water tank up there that helps pressurize and bring water down for the rest of the community down here, and other wells in various places. And there's various lift stations, and these lift stations get built by the development community. What people don't realize, even with these districts and stuff, when new subdivisions are being built, those subdivisions are paying and building the sewer and water out of those, all the lines and connections. They're paying for all the roads in there and the sidewalks. It's not coming on the backs of any of the taxpayers. They're doing it, and it's coming on the backs of the people that are buying those homes in there. So anytime that anybody says, you need to make them pay for it, they are. They're doing it between the impact fees and all the infrastructure that they're putting in, to build these houses. They are paying for that. The city of Star is very well positioned with our aquifer. They're doing some updated studies, but the most recent study shows that over 1 million acre feet, 1.09 million acre feet of water flows into our aquifer annually, and only 1.056 million acres is pulled out of that annually, so it's recharging at a higher rate just based on where we're sitting. So we don't have a water issue. Also, what people don't understand is our surface water is old irrigation water that comes in these subdivisions that irrigates your land. You can't use your municipal water to irrigate your property. It all comes from the surface water out of our canals. There was over 1,000 miles of canals built in the Treasure Valley back in the early 1900s, and drain ditches to provide all the water out here to irrigate all the farmlands that we had out here at one point, okay? How many of you grew up here in the valley or for Idaho? Yeah, my family's been here since 1880. So I've seen a lot. I haven't been here since 1880, but being here all my life, I have seen a ton of growth out here, and I understand the concern about farmlands and all that kind of stuff. I get that. My family's a ranching family too, right? However, if you don't understand that houses take less water than farmlands do in reality when you're dealing with irrigation and stuff like flood irrigation. But when you hear people's wells drying up, they're probably about 90 feet, 100 feet down, which aquifers were created by flood irrigation in the past. That's not happening. So you're gonna have to go deeper. I think SAR's water is about 500 feet deep, so it's pretty good water. All right, there is a slide in here too, if you ever wanted to see it. Oops. That slide that just popped on there shows the distribution of the water based on their studies they've done in the past. On what's using what and where the water's coming from here in our area. Transportation. This is a hot topic. It's a crazy topic, honestly. I know when I'm in the office at 5:30 in the morning, I just sit there and I can look out my window and I can say, what kind of calls am I gonna get today? Because of Highway 44. Everybody needs to know this too, that Highway 44, believe it or not, 70% of the traffic that flows through Star originates out of Canyon County. We have no control over that. The biggest problem we have right now is we have one bridge, there's 6 miles between bridges, the one in Middleton and the one in Star, right, with no other access across the river to get to another highway. So we work with these transportation agencies to get stuff done. We have 3 of them that we deal with in Star. We have Idaho Transportation Department that deals with Highway 44, Highway 16, and Highway 2026, which is Chinden up here. We have Ada County Highway District that deals with all the local roads in Ada County, everything but private roads, right? That's their responsibility. It's the only single highway district of its kind in the country. The state legislature back in the 70s created this in Ada County because of the issues they were having with roads, and it stayed that way. And so we don't have control over any of that roads on there. We just have to advocate and work to try to get stuff done for the city of Star. And then we have Highway District 4 that deals with our roads on the county side of the city of Star. A couple things that we do that's unique here in Star. In April of 2020, we entered into what's called a proportionate share agreement, something that no one else was doing here in the state as well, where every new house that was built paid an average of $1,000 into a fund that would pay for state highway improvements within the city limits of Star. Those of you that were here when we widened Highway 44 in front of where Albertsons is at, from Star Road to Canada, that was 100% paid for with proportionate share funds. That was not money provided by the state. So we came up with a unique solution that we utilized to get that done. The agreement was they were going to do this section in 2024 at the time, and they pushed it out. So that's why we have that bottleneck, because we get that comment, well, why'd you do that without that? Well, they had this funded, but they delayed the funding because of some challenges they had with some cities further down the way. We've collected about $7.9 million, or committed about $7.9 million to development for those. I think that project was about $5 million that we had, so we have about $2.9 million in there right now. Currently, and we've been asking for this for a long time. We've been asking for transportation to get this stuff done. We need to do it. Well, now we have about $351 million worth of transportation projects happening in Star or budding Star, which is an incredible amount of money if you think about it. And I'm going to show you a list of all the different projects that are going to be going on over the years, so you can, it is painful, but it's going to be beautiful when it's all done, okay? ITD started our interchange down here, right? That's a project that's estimated to be about $79 million when it's all said and done. It's going to be about a 2-year project, okay? ITD is also going to be doing the widening in 2027 here in Star from Star Road to Highway 16. They're going to finish out that segment. They pushed it all the way out to 2029, and because of the relationships and the pushing that we did, they pulled it back into 2027. They have to finish the design work on that. They're also going to be widening Highway 16 from Highway 44 up to Beacon Light. At that point, they're going to take away the connection at Floating Feather to the Highway 16. It's going to be an overpass in the Eagle Road. We pushed like crazy to keep that access. In fact, we required the development. Star City Council did a great job of requiring the development to leave the right-of-way out for on and off ramps. The City of Eagle refused to do that on the other side. So it created an issue on that, and they are just doing an overpass right now. What that's going to do, and this is another challenge we have, is I know there's a lot of concern about the traffic in front of the school over there. This is effectively going to push traffic down Pollard onto Beacon Light to get to Highway 16. We are working with ITD and really emphasizing the fact that we want them, when they do that widening from 44 to Beacon Light, that they jump in there and try to widen Pollard Road in front of the school at the same time, because they're going to create that burden. We already have a little burden, but they're going to create a massive burden by taking that access away at Highway 16. So we're going to keep fighting that. They're also going to put a light at Palmer. This is something that we've been pushing also for many years, is to try to get ITD and ACHD to get a light at Palmer and Highway 44. That's a dangerous intersection right there, and it's crazy that we haven't had more accidents than what we've had. But they've agreed to that, and they're working on the design right now, and they're going to put that in 2027. And then Highway 2026 up here, they're actually going to be widening Highway 2026 starting next fiscal year. And that's from the Phyllis Canal, where they stopped the project here a couple years ago, all the way to Middleton Road. When they do that, you're going to have a 4-lane highway or 5-lane highway all the way into Boise from Caldwell over there. We are working with, we're trying to get another bridge crossing, just so you're aware. The city of Nampa has been very awesome because they have a road department, and they're working on a grant for us right now, and for them as well, in the city of Middleton and Highway District 4, to run another bridge where Kingsbury is across the river up to Highway 2026, which will effectively give us that break in there, and some of that traffic will pull out of downtown here and run that way. And so there's very good opportunity for this grant, and the grant is just for the initial stages to do the, I think they call it a Pell study or an environmental study of some sort that they have to do because we're crossing the river. So you'll see work and movement on something like that here in the near future to get that other bridge crossing that way. Additionally, ITD is going to finish the pathway along Highway 44 from, I should say Highway 16 to Palatine Lane, which is going to give us our Greenbelt connection to the Greenbelt system when they get that finished over that direction, which is going to be awesome, right? We as a city are working on some bridges. You saw the old bridge we brought over from Horseshoe Bend. We actually have another bridge in the works right now that's coming from Cataldo, Idaho, northern Idaho. That's 250 foot long. That's going to span the Boise River at Freedom Park. That's going to give us a connection to the Greenbelt system there. And it's an old historic bridge built in 1911, somewhere in there as well. That's going to come this way. 250 feet, that's a lot of bridge, right? But we don't have to buy it. We just got to get it down here and then put it back in place over here with some creative engineering, which we're going to be doing. ACHD, folks, ACHD, we work with them on a lot of projects. They have over 5,460 center lane miles that they deal with in Ada County every year. That's a lot of lane miles, if you think about that. What is that? 2.5 times across the United States, going if you were to drive all the way back and forth of lane miles here in Ada County only. And they have what's called the Integrated 5-Year Work Plan. This is where projects get put on this plan. The city of Star has been pushing to get stuff done. One of the big projects for us, the priority, is getting Star Road completed. Star Road needs to get widened. You know, anybody that has kids that go to Whitehea High School in the morning, it is painful, right? It gets backed up past the bridge, sometimes almost to Highway 44. And so they're going to do it in 2 phases. Originally, they weren't going to do this project until 2035, but sometimes when they say the squeaky wheel, you know, gets a little more. And then we have a pretty good commissioner, Miranda, helped me really push this along to make this a priority for them. So now they're designing it now, and they're going to start the construction in 2029 on that. Because there's some right-of-way acquisitions, there's studies they have to do because they're going to have to widen the bridge there as well. Every new home in Ada County for ACHD pays an impact fee of $3,400 currently. They are going to increase that to almost $9,000 here probably at the first of the year. That's a huge increase. Costs are just going up and the needs are out there. So that'll be a good thing for us. So if you look here on this page, this talks about all the separate transportation projects you see. We never get away from transportation projects year round, right? You think that the winter you get a break? No, that's when they do the bridge work around the canals and stuff, because that's when the water's out of the canals. So they don't have to do all the dewatering and all that kind of stuff with that. So you saw last year we did the Floating Feather Bridge at East of Munger. That project was about $4.3 million. They've moved up some projects to 2026. This year, this winter, you're going to see several. On Munger Road, there's 2 bridge replacements that are going to happen with sidewalks over there, right? The 2 bridges that are left there on the south side, those bridges are going to get replaced, and there are going to be sidewalks put in there to connect all that as well. And then they're also going to be doing some pedestrian facilities over along Pollard Lane and Floating Feather over some of the bridges and stuff like that to kind of get kids up and down that street, okay? In 2029, we talked about the Star Road project. It's about a $60 million project. And everybody's favorite thing that we don't have to deal with for another 7 years was chip sealing this summer. I think we got more calls about chip sealing this summer than anybody. But they do. That's a 7-year cycle for them for maintenance. They call it fog sealing or something like that over there. But that was completed, so we don't have to worry about that. I want to encourage everybody to go to the ACHD's public hearing on October 22nd at 6 p.m. to advocate, to make certain that they say yes to the project for Star on that. Very important. It takes citizens' input and push to help with that. We could fight as much as we can, but until the citizens hop in there and help push it, that's what really solidifies those projects. You can testify in writing. You can testify online. There's a link down there on the bottom that gets you to the plan, the integrated 5-year work plan for the entire county. But they break it out by jurisdiction, so there's a STAR section that's in there as well. Okay? Highway District 4. Highway District 4, we helped them create their first impact fee program back in 2021. And they are recently going to be, they just did another, by state statute, every 5 years, you're required to review your capital improvement plan, which you hear people call CIPs. And they have done that, and they have determined that they need to increase the costs of the impact fees in Canyon County on houses to about $5,800. It's not exactly 58, but it's right in that range there. They have many, many projects in that area that they need to get completed. And this next slide here shows you, oops, nothing, because it went fast, I'm sorry there. This slide right here shows you on the Canyon County side what Highway District 4 plans for different road networks, for different road work that's going to be completed that help build their CIP. We have been very good as a City of Star City Council on pushing development to pay for these different lights in these different segments. So Canyon Road is slated to get a light paid for 100% by development. Kingsbury right now is going to get a light, 100% paid for by development. Blessinger will end up getting the light when more development that's slated to go in there comes in. We're going to make them pay for that through development, right? So it's not on the hands of everybody else. So that's going to help us. Seneca Springs is another place that we've got approval to put a light, and that's going to be paid for partially by development because it came in late in the game, okay? So there's a lot of things that we have to work out there with Seneca Springs and some easements in order to get that light put in, because that's another dangerous intersection out there. Okay? Schools. Let's jump into schools. This gives you some information about our school challenges that we have out here in the city of Star. Star is part of 2 different school districts. One is West Ada School District, which is a massive school district. Obviously, it's Meridian, Eagle, Star. I think it's some of North Kuna, maybe, going out towards Kuna a little bit on there. I look at Ryan because he's a Cunaite, I guess, is what you call yourself out there, right? Is a Cunaite out there. But if you look at the enrollment issues that we have here, Star Elementary School has 853 kids currently enrolled with a capacity of 650. So we have worked with them to get a portable out back to help with the issues that we have right now with that school. That doesn't include about 250 kids that get shipped out of Star that go to schools in Eagle because of the overcrowded issues that we have. Star Middle School right now is about 55 students over capacity, which is crazy to think because it was so under for so many years. And then our high school students are split between 2 high schools. So this doesn't include any private schools or any of that kind of stuff. This is public schools. The split between a Waihi High School in Ada County and Eagle High School. So anybody north of New Hope and east of Highway 16 goes to Eagle High, and the kids south are supposed to go to Hawaii. Now, there's always shenanigans that are playing in there where people get them into the school that they want, but that is their enrollments. You see, Hawaii just opened 4 years ago and is already 120 students over capacity on that. So let's see. So then we get into our new elementary school that's being built in West Ada School District here. And I'm going to just read this. I want to thank you, the Idaho State Legislature and Governor Little for House Bill 521 that provided the funding for this school. This school is 100% paid for with state dollars and 0 property tax dollars. This is the first school in the state of Idaho being paid for this way. We worked really hard with West Ada School District, Dr. Bubb and his team to make Star a priority because they had another area that needed it at school too. And they chose us because of the relationships that we have with them, which is awesome. And we went through a naming committee thing. I think Independence Elementary is very fitting because what is next year? America's 250th birthday, right? So Independence Elementary School is a great name for the city of Star, considering how we like to celebrate here in Star, right? So 100% paid for with state money and 0 property tax dollars. And this next slide here shows you kind of what it looks like. If you guys have driven up there, they're working hard to get that thing dried in before the winter so they can do a lot of work on the inside when it's cold. So this is a win because the new school, the incredible partnership, like I said here, with Dr. Bubb and the Board of Trustees up there. Thank you for making Star a priority. For years, the school district has owned a lot of this land up there. There is plans for a high school and a technical school up there as well in the future. High schools cost about $100 million, guys, to build. I don't know if you knew that or not. They're very expensive. That was my world in the past. I used to do that as commercial construction estimator and project manager, so very involved with that. It's going to take a lot of investment from the state in order to get that high school to get built in the future with what we need out there, okay? Then we deal with the Middleton School District. The Middleton School District, it has its, Middleton? Yeah, has its challenges as well. They have the Mill Creek Elementary School that's over capacity by 84, Heights Elementary by 67, Purple Sage is lower than capacity, and then the middle school and the high school are over capacity as well, just like it is here on the Ada County side with West Ada. So what have we done as a City of Star? Again, like I said, we're very proactive as a council, myself and staff, on making development help us with these problems. Development is not, we can't make them build the school, it's not allowed, but we made, in a new development over there by Kingsbury, required them to provide the 10.5 acres that's required for this elementary school and bring the services into that school. That's saving Middleton School District about $5 million by making that happen through the process of development. Middleton School District has part of the funding from the state. They don't get nearly as much because they're not as big. And they're trying to find alternate sources to pay for the other because they can't get a bond pass for the other part of it, right? So they're looking for alternate sources, which they think they have a solution. So we may see another school built in Star on the Canyon County side here in the next year, hopefully, which is a great win for all of us here in our community by getting 2 elementary schools done at no taxpayer dollar cost, right? That's awesome. Utilities. Our utilities are strong here in our community. Idaho Power is obviously our power folks here. They're required to do a 10-year regional electrical plan that looks at everybody's comprehensive plans. Every 2 years, they review that and update the 20-year integrated resource plan. And they're saying they have no issues in the foreseeable future with power supply. I'm going to be very interested here in the future. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to the small node nuclear reactor thing that they've been working on at the INL here in Idaho. Idaho is very blessed to have that site here to be on the leading edge of nuclear technology. In fact, the new submarine, the USS Boise or Idaho, the new one there that's just getting christened, is the nuclear reactor is developed out there as well, which is really cool, right? So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with that. Intermountain Gas, same thing. Every 2 years, are required to complete a resource study planning out 5 years in the future, and they don't see an issue in the foreseeable future with the gas supply. On the fiber and internet side of it, we require development to put in conduit in the new developments for future fiber when the fiber could get to that area. And we have companies like FatBeam, excuse me, that are actually working to get some of these resources in the different areas so they could get connectivity into these communities. By city council and stuff requiring that conduit is saving everybody a ton of money. I know the city of Mountain Home and the city of Ammon have their own internet hub stuff, and people can sign up for like $4,000 to get this stuff ran to their house. Well, if we can save everybody $4,000 by putting this stuff early and let the lines come into it, that's even better. But who knows? You know, we're going to see satellite internet like crazy. You know, we have Starlink, and I was in Washington, D.C. about 4 weeks ago, and we got to visit the Amazon headquarters there, and they're actually working on their own satellite internet process, which they're going to hub it out of Boise as far as their customer service and stuff, which is pretty cool, right? We did do if you guys have internet problems, you know, back in 2020, 2021, we did get a grant and got fiber ran to Hunters Creek and to the River House, and it's free to everybody to use outside. You can just go in the parking lot and you can pull it up if you're having challenges with internet, okay? All right, we're going to jump to something that's going to be really fun here real quick before we head on. We're going to talk about some of the Mayor's Star Rising Star Awards. These are youth in our community that get some awards from the City of Star for some of the outstanding stuff that they have done. And we're going to do that so they don't have to sit here all night with us. Well, they should sit here. You need to learn some more government stuff, right, on that. And so we got 3 wonderful individuals that have won some awards, that have done some great things. And again, these are going to be future leaders here in our community. And the first one we're going to award is Miss Madison Fuller. Where's Madison? I saw her out here somewhere. You have to come up here. You can't sit there. No, come up here. I'm going to read this real quick here for Miss Madison. And they get this cool little trophy here. Madison is being honored with the Rising Star Award in recognition of her exceptional dedication, leadership, and positive spirit within the city of Star. Madison plays an active role in several of our STAR programs, serving as part of our before and after school staff. And let me tell you, that before and after school program is phenomenal right now, and it's growing, and you guys are doing a great job with the kids and stuff in there, so thank you on that. Our summer camp counselor team and our Freedom Park rental staff. She also represents our city as a member of the Star Mayor's Youth Council, where she continues to give back, share her ideas, and helps guide the future of Star's growing community. Madison is a smart, sweet, and genuinely kind person, and shy, I think, right? No? Okay, well, you were shy for a minute. I didn't see you get up real quick. Let's see. She's beautiful inside and out. She's a camp favorite, known for her willingness to dress up, play on the floor, and simply be a kid, again, alongside the campers. Did we get her up there? Oh, yeah, there's some pictures there of her on that. Her natural ability to connect with children, make them laugh, and create a fun, safe environment is what makes her truly special. Madison is also a strong problem solver, handling challenges with patience, understanding, and maturity beyond her years. Many of the staff here at Star look up to her as a mentor and a role model. She is a senior at a White High School. She balances her many responsibilities with remarkable discipline and drive. She excels academically with a 4.0 GPA, taking honors and college-level courses, which she will earn her associate's degree by graduation. Or have you earned it already?
Not yet.
Not yet? By graduation. That's coming up soon, by the way. All while staying actively involved in school events and community programs. Madison hopes to pursue a career in communications and broadcasting, and her confidence, articulate nature, and determination make it clear that she has a bright future ahead. Madison is eager, hardworking, and dependable, always willing to lend a hand, take on extra tasks, and support her team with a smile. Her warmth, creativity, enthusiasm make her a joy to work with, and her leadership inspires everyone around her. She truly embodies what it means to be a rising star, someone whose light shines brightly through her service, compassion, and commitment to excellence, and we can't wait to see all the amazing things that she's going to accomplish in years to come. So here is this, Miss Madison. Congratulations to you, and thank you for everything you do for Star. Oh, do you want a picture? Awesome. Thank you. Okay, our second one, Chasen Sauer, where are you at? Or he's getting a new trophy because we screwed it up. It says Chase, so we're gonna call you Chase for tonight. Yeah, don't call you that? Miss Pugh told me that. Oh yes, she did tell you that. Very good. So Chasen is being honored with the Rising Star for his outstanding dedication, leadership, and commitment to the community through our City of Star Sports and Recreation Department. For the past 3 years, Chasen has been a valuable member of our team, serving as a referee in all sports, soccer, basketball, and football. His reliability and eagerness to help have made him a trusted official, consistently ensuring that games are fair and fun, and you deal with parents.
Oh, yeah, they're the best.
They're the best. Beyond officiating, Chasen is always one of the first to help. His willingness to lend a hand wherever needed demonstrates his strong work ethic and team-oriented spirit. Chasen joined our recreation summer camp counselor team a few years ago, where he has quickly become a huge asset. Chasen is the biggest kid at work, and we love his energy. Campers absolutely love when Chasen is on shift. His positivity, playfulness, and fun demeanor bring energy and joy to every activity. He creates a welcoming environment where campers knew they would be met with a smile. His natural ability to connect with youth and his patience make him a counselor that both campers and staff admire. Chasen also has joined our Star Mayor's Youth Council this year, where he hopes to inspire others in the community to give back and take an active role in shaping Star's future. His leadership, service, and enthusiasm reflect a deep sense of civic pride and commitment to community. He is a junior at Waihi High School, taking honors and college classes with a 4.0 GPA. Is that for real? I've known him a long time, so I'm like, that's pretty cool that he's a 4.0.
I think my mom would let me have anything less.
Well, no, your mom, where's she at? I saw her right. Oh, there she is, yes. He brings that same enthusiasm and teamwork he shows in school into every aspect of his work with the Recreation Department events. He demonstrates exceptional dependability, kindness, and leadership in all he does. His willingness to take on extra responsibilities, support fellow staff, and bring energy and positivity to every program reflects the true spirit of a rising star, someone who makes a lasting impact through service, positivity, and heart. So congratulations, Mr. Chase in on that. Thank you for everything you're doing here in our community. Oh yeah, sorry.
Gotta look all fancy.
I know, are you done yet? Okay, all right. I didn't know how many pictures you were taking there. Thanks. All right, we got one more. Mr. Xander, where you at? I see Xander everywhere. Everywhere. Mr. Xander Evans is being honored with the Rising Star Award in recognition of his remarkable dedication, inspiring leadership, and lasting impact he has made with the city of Star and the broader community. His commitment to excellence and passion for serving has helped shape programs and initiatives that strengthen community connections and enhance the quality of life for residents. You were doing pictures the other day at the soccer? What were you doing at soccer?
Yeah, I was doing pictures.
What were the pictures for?
It was for a video.
For a video. So, I mean, he's everywhere doing stuff. That was pretty cool. Through his hard work and vision, Xander continues to make a meaningful difference, embodying the values and spirit that make the city of Star truly a special place. He's been a vital part of our team for 4 years, a lot of years since we started the program, I believe. The same summer, we launched our very first recreation summer camps. From day one, Xander was all in. He brought creativity, energy, and heart to everything he did, helping design activities, plan lessons. We got your pictures up there, by the way? Yeah, okay, cool. And create the foundation for what our camps have become today. Whether dressing up in costumes, leading science experiments, or teaching baking classes, Xander helps set the tone for the culture of fun, inclusivity, and excitement that defines our programs. Over time, our summer camps, guys, have grown from 50 campers to 4,000 over the 4 years. And it's because of kids like Xander and these others that are helping drive some of that. And Xander's fingerprints are all over that growth. His enthusiasm and leadership have inspired not only our campers, but also his fellow staff. He's the kind of person who instantly makes others feel welcome with a warm smile, a high five, or a simple conversation that reminds kids they're valued. Many campers have said, "I love when Xander works. He's my best friend." Hey, that's great, right? Right? And it's easy to see why. His kindness and ability to connect with others makes him unforgettable. Beyond camp, Xander plays an active role across nearly every area of our department. He's part of the before and after school program, a football referee, the Freedom Park Rentals team, and takes roles as a field trip mentor, a parent night out staff, hometown celebration, fireworks security, and he helps out on our Flags for Veterans volunteer program. This year, he's also joined our Mayor's Youth Council, continuing his journey as a leader and role model with the community. His work ethic, compassion, and dedication go far beyond his years, balancing school, playing rugby for 4 years, and you started at MMA. So he wants to be an MMA fighter. Good for him, right? You're too smart for that, though, right? No, I'm kidding. Friends and work, and he manages to give 100% to everything he takes on. And he does it all with a signature positive attitude. He's a senior at Hawaii High School, and he's become a mentor that others naturally look up to, both at school and within the department. And he's always the first to volunteer, first to lend a hand, and first to encourage someone else to join in. His presence lifts everyone around him. I believe this past summer you took on an internship as an electrician.
Yeah.
So that's great. That's a great trade to learn. Where his creativity and drive continue to shine. Whether he's learning a new skill or mentoring a new staff member, he approaches every challenge with curiosity, humility, and determination. Excuse me. Xander's willingness to grow, help others, and give back embodies the true spirit of leadership. He is not only a leader, he's a builder of a community. He brings people together, creates lasting memories for all the kids he mentors, and leads every program better than he found it. His joy, optimism, and passion for making a difference remind us all why we do what we do. Xander truly embodies what it means to be a rising star, a shining example of dedication, service, and the power of positivity. His light will continue to guide and inspire others for years to come. So congratulations, Mr. Xander. Pretty impressive on that. So well done there, dude.
Thank you.
Good? Thank you.
Awesome. Thank
Nice
you.
job. Thank you to all the Rising Stars. Oh, you want the boxes? Okay, here you go. So thank you to all our youth and the Rising Star Awards that they've had. We have some amazing community youth in our community, guys, that have done a lot to help us grow. And that's what makes Star special. There's nothing more important, in my opinion, than our youth in our communities. You know, anything and everything we can do. If they're doing stuff like this, mentoring younger kids, those younger kids are always going to get better, right? All these kids, we have a really special community. When you have, and we'll talk about it, but we have 127 kids in Star that work for us during the summer months on different camps and programs and things like that. That's a lot of kids, right? And it's great opportunities for us to have very strong community with our youth. All right, so let's jump, oh, here, I better put these on here, sorry. Let's jump into the next section here for our development side of it. That's our development services staff. Like I said, we have very few, and we have a lot of city planning that's going on. So what are we doing? We are going to have a comprehensive plan text and map revision update here in the spring of 2026. We're working through some of those things. You're going to hear different stuff about open houses here in the near future to attend, and I encourage you to attend. The time to make changes to a comprehensive plan is not at a public hearing with somebody already has an opportunity to get an entitlement that's already established. It's beforehand when we do these updates on these plans to make some adjustments and changes, right? So make sure you guys get involved. We did a land use fee schedule update here this past June, which increased some fees. We're going to do a city code update in January. We have an economic corridor access management plan, which we call the ECAMP, which is like our major roadways and stuff. That'll be updated here in December. We have a South of River plan that we put together several years ago. So all that farmland down there, we hope it never develops, but we wanted to master plan it in case they decide to sell, because everybody has the right to sell their property at some point. We're going to do an update to that plan. We're also going to be doing an update to our architectural overlay plan, meaning what does that mountain modern truly look like, right? We have a mountain modern plan that we utilize that we try to get these buildings built to. We have a master pathways plan in our community from north to south, all the way up into the foothills to here, that was completed this last January. And we have a downtown revitalization plan that we're working on currently that'll be coming out in the spring. We had a plan that was done in 2011, but with all the growth that we've seen, we need to make an update to it based on what people want to see today, right? Things have changed a lot in the last 14 years. We didn't have a lot of interest in downtown for a lot of years. You know, I met my wife here in 1993 when it was nothing out here, right? But now, you know, we got people wanting to buy land and wanting to do stuff, different things. We just got to figure out what that vision looks like as a community on that. So we need to make sure that everybody stays involved with that process. And then we're going to be doing an impact fee update and adoption. We currently have a parks impact fee in Star that every new house pays $2,050. That helps with the capital improvements, but you see all the park stuff that we're doing is being paid for through that, right? Well, that's going to get updated here in our community. And we're adding a pathways and a police impact fee. The police impact fee for capital improvements. The pathway one is for that pathway plan that we put together for the entire community to help start building those segments out as well. And that'll all be paid through development on there. This is a picture of our comprehensive plan right here. So this is our planning guiding document right here. This was approved in June of 2022. This is the guiding plan that tells landowners what they can expect if they choose to sell their property or they buy property and want to develop it. Many people tell us just to stop growth. That's not an option here. We have to plan for this because if we were to stop growth, to just say we could, doesn't mean Eagle's going to stop, doesn't mean Middleton's going to stop, doesn't mean Ada County will stop, doesn't mean Canada County will stop. They'll just come on our doors on that, right? We actually, in 2022, when people say you need to limit the growth, well, we did that. Back in 22, when we updated this plan, the city council and myself, we knocked out the 40% of the available density in that. When other cities are upzoning and increasing density, we actually downzoned it and it decreased density by 40% because we saw what was happening, okay? So that we've done that. And the comprehensive plan and having this all put together is required by the Idaho Land Use Planning Act, which is Title 6765. If you ever want to go read it, it's boring, but you can go read it and understand it, which is awesome, okay? This next one is our South of River plan. This is a plan that we'll be updating. Several years ago, we put this plan together. It's our version of what we didn't want to just see it become row houses. It could be a very special area for the city of Star. This plan was done to hopefully someday move the core of the city off of the state highways and down there by the river, which has a mix of commercial, mixed use, housing, different things like that. We have a vision of a San Antonio Riverwalk with canalways and outside eateries, all that kind of stuff with this plan. And we're currently seeing things being built according to this plan. On the south side, I don't know if this has a pointer, but down here on the bottom, on the south side towards Chinden, is actually already starting to build out towards this plan. And so we follow this plan when anybody brings their stuff into the city of Star, okay? This next one here is our eCamp map. This is what I was talking about. It talks about our roadways, what we think is going to be a major arterial, a collector, a neighborhood roadway, where we want future roadways to go, where we want lights to go, things like that here in the city of Star. And again, it's called our eCamp map. And it's reviewed yearly by our transportation committee. We have a great team on our transportation committee that makes adjustments to this plan as we move on. This next one here is the plan that we utilize for our walkability and bikeability. It's our pathway master plan, the north-south. I'm going to talk about that green section, right? Or it's yellow here, but green over there. Lots of misinformation going out there about the BLM land. You guys have heard it. It's ridiculous. The most frustrating part about being in this position is when people make stuff up and it just goes like wildfire. And I'm the most honest person that's going to be out there. I'm just going to tell you how I feel and how it is. The BLM land is an important piece for us to protect. Currently, this BLM land is zoned as rural residential in the county, with the federal government toying with the ideas of transferring land and selling land. We as a city want to protect that land. We want to put that in the city of Star. We won't own it. We all own it as part of the federal government. But we're going to put public space on this so it stays open to the public forever and doesn't develop. I want everybody to understand that and hear that here from me, and you can help spread the word that the misinformation is pathetic that gets spread out there when people make stuff up. We also want to create a fire protection area. We're going to do fire mitigation up in this area. What that looks like, we're trying to figure that out. We have developments that are in the county up there. We have developments that are in the city. We want to get rid of the sheet grass that's growing in that area and get the native grasses put back in there. We want to put equestrian trails, pedestrian trails, and bicycle trails in that area so everybody can utilize it. We want safe shooting zones in that area. People don't understand how, I am a big 2A guy. I'm a hunter. I do all that stuff. But we have serious problems right now with people being irresponsible, going up on this land shooting. And I got an email today from a resident up there in the county that just had a bullet go through their wall in their house. We got to be responsible. So what do we want to do as a city of Star? We're not going to take away shooting. We all value that. But we're going to create a place that's going to be safe so people can go enjoy that. And people can still enjoy their property and their houses up there without the fear of a bullet coming through their wall. Okay? We just got to be safer with that. We as a city want to do the right things for that and protect that for the community. And that's why we are going to annex it into the city of Star. Okay? We did send a letter out. People are going to hear that, but I just want to make sure everybody understood that and heard it from me. And if you couldn't tell a little bit of my frustration in my voice with that, it's just because of misinformation. Misinformation can destroy a community that fast. That fast. You know, and we are so open in a city hall. I have an open door policy. The council does too. We will talk to you about anything. You can come and talk. If you want to, come walk with me and Greg at 5:30 in the morning every morning, and you can come talk to us. We walk almost 3 miles every morning, and that's a great time to talk about stuff here in the city, right? So we're really trying to do the right things. There's another 80-acre parcel that's up there in the foothills that we want to annex in the city of Star so we could keep that as open space. That's prime, right? BLM at any time could do a land transfer with somebody. They can give them, the private property owner could give them land over here to take this land over here, and they say, you know what, I can get 140 units, or 150 units, 1,500 acres up there, they're allowed to put 150 houses on it today if they wanted to, if they were to transfer it. But if we annex it in and we put public space, it can't get developed. right? That's what we're trying to do. There's another 80 acres up there that we want to make a bicycle park up there. There's 15 acres down here by BLM, down by the river, where our bridge is going to cross into that we want to bring into the city of Star, so we can maintain that as well, okay? So that is our master plan and whatnot there. And I want, please, get involved. You know, we are always trying to update our plans. We want people's input. This is not my plan. This is not the council's plan. This is the City of Star's plan. This isn't the citizens' plan that lived here for 20 years. This is everybody. It doesn't matter if you've been here for 6 months, 3 months, 20 years, 30 years, whatever. We want everybody's input. I value the input from folks that have lived in other areas that have ideas and know and seen things over there, right? Or something that can make something better for our community out here. But I just encourage you, sometimes stuff is crazy and off the wall that doesn't fit Idaho law. So we have to follow the law, but we can try to incorporate different things into our plan. All right? Okay, getting into the sports and recreation side. Ron Weston and Annie Pugh are the two that really do a lot in our sports and recreation. We have 127 summer teen staff and 8 summer adult staff that help us with all the things that we have in the summer programs or in our sports programs. And these are all the different sports and recreation ideas that we have going on. And it's fantastic. It's so cool to see kids involved with so many different things in our community out here. This kind of shows you right here what our participation numbers look like. We've actually had a 10% increase, 10.5% increase from last year to this year in participation overall. And you can see our youth sports, we get about 2,700 participants. Our youth camps and events, about 4,400. Adult sports, 489. Those of us that like to try to play softball and pull our hammies and throw out our arms, we try to live our childhood dreams again. Adult programming, we have a lot of fit and fall classes, Tai Chi, things like that. And our before and after school program, we have 145 kids participating in that, and that's a great program. We did win an award from the cities of the state of Idaho for our before and after school program and how effective it is this last year, which is pretty awesome to see, right? And Annie and her team put all that together, which was awesome. And these are just a few pictures right here, showing the different things that we have going on with our sports and recreation. We even do archery sometimes in this building right here, which is really fun. Pastor Tim Ney is a big archery guy, just like me. And he sets up these courses in here and teaches kids how to shoot bows, and that's a cool deal. We also have our parks and building maintenance staff. These guys work their tails off. We have 120 acres of parks and 12 city facilities that this team right here maintains and takes care of here in our city. And they do a great job. I think, is Lonnie still here, or did he go to bed? Oh, you're still here. He works early in the morning. And it's amazing to see the transformation of these parks and how well, sometimes we have issues with water and stuff, and there's nothing they can do about it, but they can get them back healthy again, and they turn green really quick. These are the parks that we have right now. We have at those 120 acres, Freedom Park Complex, which is about 69 acres, Hunters Creek, West Point Park, Lake Park, River House Complex, Pavilion Park, and Boot Hill Park is something that we just recently completed up there by the middle school. That not middle school, but by the LDS church right there on Floating Feather. That land at Boot Hill Park is owned by the cemetery district. But we were able to work with them because they don't need it for a lot of years. I mean, we would have to have something really serious happen to really need that land. So instead of it just becoming weeds and stuff, we created a sports field complex for us to utilize. It's just grass with that parking lot in the front. And then we were able to work with the cemetery district to get easements to put that pathway to the middle school and the developments that are back there. So now we have another place for kids to get dropped off for school instead of filling up the middle school lanes, and place for kids to play out there. And then at the time that the cemetery district needs it, we could turn it over to them and they could just roll right in without having to develop it in the future. It's a win-win for everybody. We also have future development facilities coming in. We have Liberty Hall coming in, which is a 10,000 square foot event center down by the River House. We recently, this last year, purchased a 2.4 acres, which is just north of the parking lot at the River House. And we're gonna add another 165 parking spaces there. And we have 2 houses on that. The new house is gonna be converted into city offices for Parks and Recreation. The secondary house is gonna become our history museum. Sorry about that. Our history museum down there. And then we also have a maintenance shop that's already on that facility. So we're going to fully utilize that, and we're going to add this Liberty Hall Event Center. This event center is going to look like a barn to kind of keep with the Stars heritage on that. And then we could host events like this, and you have the Chamber has events, SWIFT has events, Lions Club, everybody has events that could be hosted down there, Art by the River, all that kind of stuff. We also have a park in the foothills that'll be coming to the city. I don't know if it's been deeded yet. Has it been deeded yet, Sean? It has been deeded. So it's now deeded to the city. It's 50.9 acres again. It was worked out with the developer that 50.9 acres are going to come to the city, plus they gave us $60,000 to put a footbridge across the canal on that. And it's going to create some trails and stuff like that off of Wing Road for people to go utilize the foothills up there. So we'll put benches and things like that up there. Roselands Park is a 7.3 acre park in front of Roselands there, or a 7.3 acre parcel. The school district owns that. I don't think they're ever going to build on that. It doesn't fit their footprint. So we have a 50-year lease for $1 a year from them to have that land to put a park in it. But now they're talking about selling it to us too. So we may end up purchasing that. We have a committee of residents that live in that neighborhood that gave us an initial design, and I got to get this meeting set up with them later this month to finalize the design, because we plan on putting grass and irrigation in this next year on that. Again, Terramore Park, where that elementary school on the Canyon County side that we showed over there? We required the developer to give us a 10.3 acres for a city park over there as well on that, right? And so development's not all bad when we can get stuff for the community overall, right? And so that park is going to have sports fields, play structures, pathways in it. And someday in the future, when we can find an angel donor, we'll hopefully get to build a recreation center here, because we need some indoor gymnasium space, fitness spaces, and classroom spaces for that, right? And so I don't have any desire to go out and ask for a bond for that. I never have. I'm always looking for those angel donors that would want to put their name on the facility or whatnot, so we can get that built for the community. This is what that, I don't know if you can see that very well, but this is what that Liberty Hall is going to look like. If we can get this done, Dana looked into trying to get a real replica Liberty Bell that can go out there at Liberty Hall. I mean, it kind of goes with the Freedom Park theme, our Veterans Garden and whatnot out there, okay? This shows you, if you haven't been to all of our parks, kind of some ideas of what our parks look like with Quail Ridge, Hunters Creek. The Boot Hill Park says future, it's done. I just didn't have an updated aerial picture for that and what Roselands looks like. Freedom Park, we learned a lot this last summer. I'm going to tell you, swimmer's itch was our best friend. I hate to say that, but it was. Eagle Island was shut down for a couple years while they were working on improving that. And that drove a lot of people to Freedom Park that are not from our community. I've had people ask, well, why don't you just limit it to the citizens of Star? Well, state law is very specific. In order to hold us harmless for anybody getting hurt, it has to be open to the public. And public is everybody. If we start limiting it, then you're going to have to start charging so you can pay for the insurances and stuff like that. That's going to be required for that. Plus, it's a logistical nightmare to try to figure out who lives in the community, and we don't want to be that way. Swimmer's itch, guys, I just want to make sure everybody understands. If you've never dealt with it, I have, and it's a parasite that dies when it goes into the human body, and that's the allergic reaction some people have. Almost every body of water in Idaho has swimmer's itch in it. It's just a matter of whether or not you itch after that. We're going to put a little shower station, outdoor shower station by that restroom out there, so if people want to swim in there, they can just go wash off, and that should be fine from that, right? But I'm going to make some permanent swimmer's itch signs so we can put them out there. If it gets crazy, maybe we can slow it down a little bit, because my police would highly enjoy that out there. We do put our summer SROs out there in the summer to work that now. So we're going to have 2 of them that'll be out there all the time. And that helps with any of the challenges and issues that we see out there. But it did get better towards the end of the year. We also have our Veterans Garden at Freedom Park. This is Miss Dana's vision, and then Tom gets the help. Are you here, Tom, still? Yeah. Tom is Dana's better half. I'll say it that way, right? I'm just kidding. Dana's the better half. But Tom is the muscle behind all the work. If you've seen Veterans Garden, Dana has a lot of the design concepts that are going on in there. Dana's a Gold Star daughter, lost her father in Vietnam, and this is really to her heart and passion in getting this done. You will not see another Veterans Garden built like this one, I promise you. It is a phenomenal garden. If you have not seen the progress on it, I suggest you go out there and take a look on it. It's gonna have, what'd you say, 50,000 plants or something crazy like that? I don't know, they keep planting plants, but it's all red, white, and blue in that whole Veterans Garden. It's got these covered areas that's gonna have climbing roses on it. We actually were able to get a top of an old grain silo from a place in Star that's out there over an area that's gonna have some benches. We're gonna have the seals of each of the military branches, a bronze seal, 24-inch bronze seal that's gonna be placed in different spots. We have a Gold Star section where the Gold Star, just like the Gold Star emblem, is in the concrete, embedded in the concrete on there. We're going to have these lights that are out there that have stars and stripes. When they come on, it's going to project the stars and stripes on the sidewalks. It's a beautiful place for people to go reflect, right? And just go pay respects for all those wonderful folks in our country that served, right? And it's going to be a beautiful area. It's got a fountain. And Tom gets to work for free with Dana on that, which is beautiful. Thank you, Tom. So, yeah. All right, let's get to the meat here of this. The meat, property taxes. Let's talk about property taxes in the city of Star. We are very big on trying to foster a business-friendly environment and keeping government out of private industry. We have not only seen existing businesses flourish, but also witnessed new investments in our community. We have been so upside down, and the thought process is on the property tax side. If you can put only 70% of the property tax burden on residents and 30% on the commercial, it's pretty healthy, right? We have been 94.6, 95.5, 96.4 for so many years. We have seen a ton of commercial investment. This right here shows you currently we're at 86.9 to 13%. So we have really starting to flip that script on the property tax burden. So getting commercial business in here helps us a lot in many ways. Property taxes is one, provides local services, and it provides jobs for many of the locals in our area. So if you look at this, just in the last 4 years, we went from 94% down to 86. That's an amazing turn right there. When you look at our property tax comparison, I like to do this one too, per population. City of Star is the lowest in the valley. In all of our area. If you look at our total population of 22,370, we only levy $2.1 million in property taxes as a city on a $4.1 billion value as a city. That's very little money that we levy. How many taxing districts do you guys know of on your property taxes? Do you think all the money goes to the city of Star? No. Depending on if you're north of Highway 44 or south of Highway 44, you're going to have 10 or 11 taxing districts. The city of Star, when you look at how much you pay, is about 5 or 6 on down the list on that, okay, depending on where you're at. So the city of Star, we're about $98 per person in the city of Star in property taxes that we charge. The next closest one is Greenleaf at $125. If you lived in Boise, it's about $744 per person, right? I mean, that's incredible. They charge $188 million in property taxes in the city of Boise. So when you look at our property taxes, that actually equates to this year about $52.36 per $100,000 of taxable value. That's a pretty respectable number. We've been fiscally conservative since the inception in 1997. Been very, very strong with that. We have a foregone balance of about $640,000. Foregone is money that we never collected in taxes before, either the 3% or whatnot. As a city, the challenges we face right now is making sure our public safety, our police are covered and paid for. We could only increase our property tax by a maximum of 8% per year with growth. 8% of 2 million, guys, is 160,000. You hardly cover the cost of one police officer with that in a year. And that's why we do these mitigation fees to offset that. And that's why Greg Tominski and I have been working hard with the legislators to try to find a permanent solution, whether it's repealing 389, but all the impacts have happened, and that's not going to ever get repealed. I'm going to just tell you that right now. I call out legislators all the time I said, which one of you is willing to die on the sword for us to make that go away? And no one's willing to, because everybody's worried about their next election, right? But can we make modifications to 389 to help alleviate some of the pain? Because the pain's already happened. STAR is at a serious disadvantage when 389 came in. In 2021, when 389 came in, is when we started growing like we have. And so we never got the benefit of growth as a city to help pay for these services that we need, like other cities have. You look at the city of, I think it's Garden City on there. The Garden City has a population of 13,000 people and has a $5.4 million property tax budget. We have 23,000 people and have a $2.1 million property tax budget. Garden City had the benefit of all the growth over the years before 389 came in. You see that difference? And so that's the challenges that we're facing on making sure that public safety is cared for. In STAR, again, I'm going to emphasize this again. All your property taxes from the city go straight into our police budget. We have put that in as a policy that your money should pay for public safety. That's it. Everything else that we get from the state and stuff will pay for the other items out here. Okay? If you look here on this one, no. There we go. Why do we want to bring commercial to STAR? Get back on that. It reduces the property tax burden on residential, it creates jobs, and enhances our local services. We have, is Chris in here still? If you guys have been over to the Stonecrest area, which are Dutch Brothers, all that, Chris, local, helped develop all that, and we're getting a lot of local businesses going in these work-live areas. It's incredible to see that, and I thank him. And it was a project when he first brought it in, when we were on council and stuff, that we were like, well, what are we going to do? We want to do work-live, but what does that mean? Right? And we've learned a lot on that, and I think it's turned out to be a pretty cool project to have houses, people living above where they have their businesses if they choose to do that. We have many additional eateries, building shells, corporate headquarters, banks, retailers, assorted professional offices that have inquired about building a STAR. We have a close to additional 125,000 square feet that people are looking at in the next few years, and this is not Lowe's. Let me just tell you that. For whatever reason, and I understand, Lowe's has become the challenge for a lot of folks, but they pulled their application and have not come back to us, right? When the tariffs were starting to go in place, they pulled applications all over the place and just focused on major markets, okay? But Lowe's is not coming in. This is a whole bunch of different stuff. I've seen people ask, well, what's going on back behind Cobblestone Car Wash there? You see all the earth moving stuff going on. Well, you have a local builder that's building another 45,000 square feet of retail space that's prime for anybody local who wants to open a business. Gives you the opportunity to get a spot to do a business, right? And we are open to as many locals that have the ability and the drive to create a business here in our community and be successful, okay? And that will help reduce our burden. I'm going to tell everybody, support our local businesses. It's a shame when we see people go online and use social media as a way to shame. That's ridiculous. Most local business owners here would love to hear from you in person. They would fix the problem. In fact, they'll probably take care of you. It does no good to go online and destroy a local business and have that business go out and then you have a hole in a place. Just go out there and just talk to them because they will talk to you. I promise that, right? And that's a good thing. And again, if you have a business, Sean is back there. Come and talk to him tonight. We'll get it going tomorrow. We'll figure that out, right? And Ryan Phil's back there. We want our locals. This here is a comparison of our values in commercial over the years. In 2021, we had $103 million in commercial with 178 parcels. Today our units. Today we have a $400 million value in commercial with 226 parcels or units. That's a great growth rate right there. We have currently about 19 businesses in various stages of planning or construction. These additional businesses are not included in the taxable value noted above. That does not include any of the businesses that's going to go in that 45,000 square feet that they haven't told us about yet. And there are some. They don't build without having some sort of folks that are in there on that. Okay? So our commercial is very important. I hear all the time, why pizza places, why doctor's offices? Oh my God, we got 5 banks. Oh my God, last time I looked, money was very important to everybody. right? So banks are good, right? And every business adds value, regardless of what it is, right? Idaho, if you haven't heard my spiel on this, I actually, when this became a hot topic about pizza places, I actually did research. Idaho loves their pizza. There's like 26.9 pizza places per 100,000 people in the state of Idaho. If you came from California, it was 18. So yes, there are more pizza places here. We like our pizza places, okay? So pizza is a good thing. Well, no, it's not. I lost weight because I am not eating pizza, so that's a good thing. But to support all those businesses, it's very important for us to be successful by supporting those. We have a lot of volunteer committees here in the community, in our city. We have our Mayor's Youth Council. You see those guys are sitting over there. We have a Transportation and Pathways Committee. We have our Hometown Celebration Committee. I want to just talk about that real quick for a minute. This next year is our 250th birthday. If you think our party is insane right now, you don't have no idea what it's going to be like this next year. I'm a fireworks guy, right? We got some serious fireworks stuff happening this next year and party going on and lots of different things happening. It'll be fun. It's not like it's never fun, but it's going to be really fun. And then we have our beautification committee and our historical committee. Our historical committee, guys, has done an amazing job. Recently, we have lost several of our senior citizens in this community of Star. And they have done a fantastic job of recording their stories over the last couple of years. Right now, the historical recording stuff is housed at our Star Library. In the future, when we get our historical museum up and going down here, it'll all be housed down there. You can hear, excuse the expression here a little bit, but we have Delbert Stevens, right? My neighborhood is Stevens Springs that I live in. It was his family that owned it. One of the greatest statements that I ever heard on one of these things is he liked the smell of cows. He loved it. And he said right on video, I love the smell of shit. I mean, that's just the way that the old community is, right? It's the greatest thing in the world to catch these different little nuances that everybody loved in the old days, right, here in Star. And that's what we call the good old days. So the historical committee had this last year, they did a time capsule that's going to get sealed. We're doing another one for the 250th birthday of the United States, which is going to be a 50-year deal. We'll be open until the 300th birthday. So we're going to encourage a lot of the community to put stuff into this time capsule so people in the future can see who we were back here in the 2026 timeframe at the 250th birthday. If you're interested in being part of one of our committees, the Transportation, Hometown, Beautification, Historical, please go online. I think it's online. Is it online where they can sign up to be part of those committees? And we're going to really start ramping some stuff up here with some of those committees here in the very near future. Our beautification committee, we have coming up, we have the Make Star Shine Day, where we go out there and we rake leaves for folks that need help, or we go pick up trash along Highway 44. Speaking of trash, this Saturday, I don't know if you guys have seen, the Lions Club has a trash pickup day this Saturday. They would love some help to get out there and pick up from Star Road all the way to Kingsbury. That's how we keep our community beautiful out there. And all these different organizations right here are organizations that service our community. The Star Food Bank, they service a ton. They operate out of the old City Hall, if you didn't know this, right there by City Hall, the old green building there. And let me tell you this, our maintenance staff is amazing, because when we had that windstorm in July that destroyed our Christmas tree in the front of City Hall, and another, 20 or 30 trees down at the river, they did a great job on cleaning that up. But we've had some amazing people in the community. We're going to have a new Christmas tree put in front of City Hall. That's going to be a big, not as big as what was there, but a big one that's been 100% donated, and they'll install it for free. So you'll see our Christmas tree back at City Hall. It just won't be that big, massive one, but it's going to be like 25, 30 feet tall, I think, over there. So that's great. Great news there. We got the Chamber of Commerce, the Star Lions Club, Southwest Idaho Business Alliance, our American Legion Post 39. Is that Dan over there? Dan over there, and Fred might still be here. You heard him singing up here. The Star Senior Center, Hand and Paw, River of Hope, and our HALO program. Our HALO program is a program that we created here in the city of Star. With all the mass moves here, kids were losing their identity and losing their sense, in my opinion. We had a string of suicides that was going on that was really bothering me. Not here in Star, but in the valley, that was really bothering me. And so we created this Hometown Angels Lifting Others program where we get kids that come in and they start bringing friends, and we just start activities. They do them with me as mayor, and we do activities and get them Jake was part of that at the very beginning, and now he's at our Mayor's Youth Council, and he's doing awesome over there, right? And so we do all these things with these kids, and just to make sure that they know that they belong, that they are part of our community and things like that. Because these kids, like I said, you'll see I'm passionate about kids. I always have been, forever. I want to see these kids succeed, because if they succeed, I can retire at some point, all right, and be safe in my own community, right? And I think it's great for us. So some final thoughts before we ask some questions. I just say a city does not make people, the people make the city. We may come from various areas of our amazing country, which we do. I think I've talked to somebody here in Star from every freaking state that we have. Blows me away when I hear from people from New York and back east that have come to our community. I'm like, how in the world did you get to Star, Idaho, out of all places, right? But at the end of the day, we're all citizens of the great city of Star, working together to make Star the best place to live, work, and play. And we are very noticed in the state of Idaho. We have cities and counties are saying, how in the world is Star doing that? It's because of all of us, right? We believe in ourselves. Our leadership here in our community does a great job of trying to do the right thing and make Star shine. Our police are awesome. Our fire guys are awesome, right? It's just a great community to be part of. So never lose sight of making Star, right? I always say Star equals community, and it's true. We are one community. We may have our little bickering. Great. We'd have that in our own households, right? But at the end of the day, we always come together. And I put this Star is built different. I've had several mayors in the state of Idaho just come up to tell me that Star is just truly built different. Thank you. Thank you guys for making Star being built different. Okay? So, do we have questions, Ryan?
We do. We
Are you
do have
on?
some questions. We do have some questions, Mr. Mayor. Are there other questions that our Mayor's Youth Council can come and pick up? I see a few out here.
Right there, yep.
You guys can grab those, and I'll start asking questions as you bring me the others. This one's pretty easy. Will you just remind us again where the 10 acres is for that Middleton school that's going in?
It's over off of Kingsbury, just north of Highway 44. So that's where that new school is going to go, over there for this Middleton School District. The Terramore subdivision. It's Terramore, right, Ryan?
Yes, correct.
Yeah,
That's
Terramore
correct.
subdivision is where it's in. North of 44, off of Kingsbury, down there. We will stay on the east side as the city of Star, so it's going to be on the east side of Kingsbury. The school is, yeah.
Mr. Mayor, can you talk a little bit about the perception that the city of Eagle is actually lowering their density of homes in their comprehensive plan, and then talk about what we did in our comprehensive plan?
I don't know exactly what Eagle is doing. I've heard that too, but they have a lot of, they may be doing that, and they've done that. Historically, Eagle has always had lower densities on stuff over there. For us, in our comprehensive plan, when we used to have 5 units per acre, we're down to 3 units per acre in most of our area. But in the foothills, we've done a lot of it where it's 1 unit to an acre or 1 unit to 5 acres, things like that up there. So it's hard to compare city to city with that, especially Eagle, because Eagle has, historically, they've done larger lots and things like that over there. Yeah.
This question, and maybe, Greg left. I was going to go stand back there by him. Does the fire district service all of the city of Middleton?
No, they only service a section of it. You have to look at that map online, and it really will point out where the portion of that is. The Middleton Fire District services most of the rest of Middleton. So I guess when you talk about the JPA that we have, Star Fire District and the Middleton Fire District help each other out in those areas. Oh, he is right there.
He is right there. I saw him.
Yeah, but that was an easy one. I don't need Greg.
Okay.
I don't need to phone a friend.
All right, you may need a lifeline on this one, but we're
Okay.
going to see. Will the Vallanova's water usage in their golf course, the 7,000 homes, pools, ponds, etc., interfere with Star's water?
My understanding is no. I think it's a different aquifer that they're in up there. And I believe they are using recharge water to irrigate up there too on that. So
I'm gonna give the mic to Ryan for a minute.
It's okay, let's clarify this. He's a city engineer.
I'm also a sewer and water district engineer.
I know.
So for those that don't know, I work for both the Star Sewer Water District and the City of Star. I will tell you that some of Valnova's discharge water will probably end up in some of the irrigation canals out there. But as far as affecting our drinking water, absolutely not. I will also tell you that the water that's coming out of that is cleaner than the water that's already in the canal. And that is a documented fact that we can prove.
Oh, you're talking about when they discharge in the canal? It's the same thing. We discharge in the canal from our sewer and water district also as well. Yeah, so.
Yeah, Ryan is clairvoyant, so he answered the next question. Will Valnova's water treatment cleaned water go into our canals for farmers to use on our food? So Ryan just answered that, but I think everybody needs to understand ours does
I'm going to make
too.
sure, I'm going to answer this. I'm going to add on to that.
Yep.
And what people need to understand is our canal water is dirtier by far than any water coming out of our treatment plants. The stuff that flows into our canals from cow manure, all that kind of stuff, and the stuff that they put in there is way dirtier, man. I've lived this my whole life, that we used to swim in it. That might be what's wrong with me, right? But we used to swim in that kind of stuff, right? But this water, way cleaner. If you want to understand it, I would suggest go take a tour of the Star Sewer and Water Plant, and you can see that how clear and clean that water is. They have a serious set of standards that they have to live up to with the EPA.
You answered this in your presentation, Mayor, but I might just point out that these slides will be online here in the next day or two, but will there be any new parks or playgrounds coming to Star? And I think you did a good job.
Yeah, we do. We have several parks and playgrounds that will be coming to Star on that. And I will tell you, so Pavilion Park is, I think, one of the coolest parks, if you guys haven't been there. It has the dog park, splash pad, pickleball, the playground, the basketball court. That playground came about when we did the playground at Hunters Creek Park. We thought that we truly made that an all-inclusive playground. Had some citizens of Star reach out to me and said I could do better, and I didn't understand what that meant. So I had them come into the office and sat down, and it truly wasn't a fully inclusive playground. I didn't understand what that really meant for kids that are in wheelchairs and things like that. And they explained that to me, so I had them help me design that one. Now we have one of the best fully inclusive playgrounds in the valley because these parents came and told me to do better, and we sat down and we did better. And that's what being part of a community like this is all about, is we don't know what we don't know until someone tells us that we screwed up on that, and we fixed that problem, and now it's awesome to see kids. Basically what it means, what they've told me is, it's not just about the kids being able to use the equipment, it's being able to compete against their friends on different aspects of the equipment with some of their able-bodied friends, right? That was an eye-opener to me on that. And so that's why you see we have those two, what they call them, zip line things in there. One for a child that may be in a wheelchair, and the other one for his buddy that may not be in a wheelchair, can race each other down that stuff, right? And so different aspects of that. And so that we do listen, we try to make things better, and I think that turned out to be one of the best parks around with all the different activities. I wasn't quite sure how the basketball courts were gonna go. Good heavens, man, there's a lot of kids that play basketball over there, and it's so cool to see, right? And it's clean and it's nice over there. Yeah, next one.
Yeah, I thought I put the slide up, but now that I come in where I can see it, I didn't.
Which one?
This question is, can you point out where the BLM land that you spoke of is at? And
This one will work. So that green right there, so that green is that 1,500 acres, that big chunk. This little square down here on the bottom is 80. This other one, we're gonna have to verify that. I don't know if that truly is BLM land. And then right across the river down here is some BLM land as well on that.
So dial us in a little bit then. The big piece is north of what road?
The big piece is north of Hillsdale, up in the foothills, that large piece. It goes almost all the way to Firebird Raceway, if you're not aware of that. But that section up there, yeah.
Perfect, I think that did well there. I'm gonna ask you this one. This is more of a, this is an opinion question.
Oh, great.
I know you've got a couple. Why do you think we can't pass a school bond in Star?
A school bond?
That's what the question is.
So a school bond, the challenge is school bonds, when we're talking school, it's West Ada, it's the entire district. or it's Middleton, the entire district, right? West Ada School District is so big, when you're trying to pass a bond, you have to indicate where you're going to build those schools. If that school doesn't impact you in your area, and it does, believe it or not, but if it doesn't impact you, and your perception is you're not going to pass that most likely, and people don't want to pay for bonds. And that's why the state has really stepped up and started paying for these schools through that House bill we talked about and providing money. Over the years, you've seen your property taxes with schools go down because the state has thrown money at that to pay off bonds over a period of time, which is great for everybody. But they're going to have to continue this ongoing funding mechanism to pay for the schools for all the new growth that is coming into our state.
You and I have talked a little bit about this one. It's near and dear to our hearts with the age that our children are. Is there anything the city can do with affordability for young residents and new families, given the fact that all these fees are going up, making housing more?
So there's a couple things. There's a couple layers to this thing. When we talk fees, in the city of Star, the total fees when you're talking about sewer and water permit fees, impact fees and stuff is about $25,000. The challenge I have is on the front end, when people are buying land. It used to be land was $25,000, $50,000 an acre in the city of Star. It's going for $300,000 to $325,000 an acre in the city of Star. So before you even dig and put infrastructure in, you're already in the hole $70,000 to $80,000 an acre, depending on what the density is going to be, right? And so that's hard to create that affordability on that front end. Now, I am part of a state affordable housing task force where there's three Senate and 3 representatives, myself and representing all the cities in the state of Idaho and some other county folks and things like that and other businesses that are part of this task force to try to figure out what does that mean. Because affordability means so much to everybody. Affordability doesn't mean low-income housing. You know, my kids that grew up here, my first house I built here in Star in 1999 was $97,500 all in. You can't even think about that. You can't even sneeze that in today's world on that. You know, so my poor kids that grew up here can't build here. They can't buy here. We used to be the armpit of Ada County. That's what Star used to be called. Low value. Now we're right behind Eagle in valuations and stuff like that and livability and stuff. So that's a challenge. So this task force, next Friday, a week from Friday, we have another meeting on that. We're trying to find out what is it going to take to create affordability as far as getting people down to that 70, 80% AMI and whatnot in there, right? Or what that looks like so people can get into those houses. Like my son Hunter right now, he's in Horseshoe Bend. That's where he lives. That's where he can afford to live right now, right? When you have rental houses going for $2,500, $3,000 a month, good heavens. Who can afford that, right? You got apartments going for $1,800 a month for two bedrooms. In reality, who can afford that, right? I mean, so there's a lot of challenges with that, and it's just something that we're gonna have to try to figure out as a community. But fees are not the problem with that. There's a lot of things on the front end that cause those prices to go up so much. Cost of materials have gone up so much. All that has added to that problem.
This one too, this might be a little bit of an opinion question, but maybe not. With Valnova coming in and Willowbrook bringing a golf course as well, do you see River Birch Golf Course leaving?
No, River Birch has told us they're not leaving. River Birch is owned by a big potato and sugar beet farmer. He said to us, if it leaves, because I even asked him, are you going to build houses? And he goes, no, I'll tear it up and put sugar beets in it, is what he said, if I were going to do anything, right? But I don't see that going. That's a popular golf course. A lot of people use that golf course. And they're great. They're great with us as a city. They helped me on my Mayor's Youth Council scholarship, our Mayor's Scholarship golf tournament. We gave out $60,000 in scholarships last year to graduating high school seniors. And that golf course plays a big part in it for us to fundraise with them. So they're a great sponsor with the City of Star.
All right, we got a couple more and then we'll try to wrap up here. You mentioned in your comments about maybe the potential for a bike park up in the BLM land. This question says, can we make part of the BLM land like another Eagle bike park for mountain bikers?
We absolutely we can. And what's cool is I have kids that come and meet with me and have ideas like that. It's just hard for us to get we have to get this stuff annexed in the City of Star before we can even do anything, right? And one of the young men reached out to me again recently because he heard about the annexation. He got excited. Once we have that, we're going to look at these BMX bike, not BMX, these bike parks like what Eagle has over there and see how we can develop that in that 80 acres up there on that. So,
are there any particular restaurants or fast food joints that you can disclose that you know about coming to Star?
Yeah, I know about them, but I can't disclose them. Can't yet. There's several that we're working with right now on that. I think has Dana updated the website yet? I haven't looked at that.
I haven't looked the last couple.
We updated our website, guys. It's a newer website, and so there's a lot of things in the background that we got to get updated on that. But that should be updated soon. And with Dana being out, that's going to be a little bit harder to get that done sooner than later. But we'll get that updated, and you'll see some different stuff on there that's coming in. I will tell you. Let me tell you this. I will tell you this. That building that's going on over here on Moyle, that's Taco Bell. They really originally wanted to come downtown Star. We didn't even let that get to a public hearing and said, no, that's not a place for that. You need to be on the outskirts somewhere. And they went out there and decided to build because that's an allowed use in that area over there.
There's another one that's in the process too that hopefully we can announce here soon too.
Yes.
That I'm excited about myself. I tried to avoid this question. It comes up every year, but it came up again, so we'll see what your answer is this year.
Okay.
Would the future recreation center have a pool, indoor or outdoor?
Yes. It would have, our intent is to have an indoor pool in that rec center, an indoor gym. We have some plans designed for it that we designed in, I think, Kevin, like 2019-ish, somewhere in there, because we had ideas back then. It'd have indoor gym, indoor workout areas, classroom spaces, things like that. And it's important. I mean, we have Freedom Park. Obviously, it's a pond, but a pool would be helpful in teaching kids how to swim. I think that's a big thing out there. Yeah.
That's our last question. I saved it for the last. It deals with the open house that we had on the downtown plan. This question basically just says, is there anything glaringly obvious that the citizens wanted? And is there anything that they clearly do not want?
I know believe it or not, we had a ton. It was awesome, the number of folks that showed up. And so they're compiling all the data. We have a meeting coming up. I haven't heard what it was in that. They're supposed to compile all the data from the online surveys that we did and the 500 or so people that showed up that provided comments. And when they're writing comments, they have to go type it all in and put it in for us to get that. So I don't have an answer on that, but we'll get an answer on that here soon on that. I mean, it's all going to be open to everybody to see. We're not going to hide anything. If people clearly don't want something, okay, well then that's probably not what we're going to do, right? If they want something, great, right? But it's going to be interesting. That's one, when I talk to all those folks down there, when I say you live in these different areas that were very different and unique to Star, what did you like and what did you not like, right? That's important information to have so we know how to build this downtown. We have a blank canvas of old stuff that's going to get redeveloped because you couldn't turn into the commercial facilities without major renovations anyway. And so we have an opportunity, I think, to make something very special for the downtown part of Star.
Okay, that's it. I just wanted to close the Q&A session by saying we would love more questions. Anytime you have a question, he's very open. It seems like we can't hardly have a meeting with him because he's having a meeting with residents of the community. And so he's always addressing questions and out there. And staff is always willing to answer questions too. So please come in and let us know. Call us, shoot us an email. And that's it for Q&A, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, guys. And I just want to tell you, I appreciate everybody. I know we all have difference of opinions and ideas and thoughts, and that's okay, right? But we could have good civil discourse and conversations on these things to try to find how to make things better. And that's key for anybody and for everybody, right? And that's what's going to make us different and stand out from other communities out there. So thank you for enduring 2 hours of pain with that. If you have questions, come and see me. These will post it online if you would like to have them. Stop me out on the streets if you want. Come walking with us if you would like. We do all that kind of fun stuff here in the city of Star. So thank you so much. Have a good night.